Hi there, Cosmic Family. My name is Yaliali in this incarnation, and we have the moon in Cancer. It is its house, its domicile, calling us to make home in ourselves, to find security in whatever thing we are transiting at the present moment, recovering memories perhaps that are important for this moment. And also, the sun is in Leo, which is the area, which is the sign that rules, and it is already activating the opposition with Pluto retrograde in Aquarius. So this transit shows us what is necessary to get rid of in a certain way, so we can allow to emerge the true brightness in each one of us, the true shining. This light that we can radiate when we are listening to our hearts, when we can create, when we can use our voice with Mercury retrograde in Leo and express what passionates us, what connects us with passion to express. Enthusiasm is a sign, in fact, that we are connecting with the soul. It is just that, many times that enthusiasm, our most spontaneous expression, could be like turned off for fear of others, perceiving what we are saying, or what we are doing in certain ways. And at the same time, that is being born from a programming in which we put much more attention in what others can see from the outside than what we truly feel that is that represents loyalty to oneself. Sorry. So then there is this other polarity that could be a Pluto in Aquarius in distortion, in which the effort in being politically incorrect it is not this expression from the heart, but this intention of challenging, defying others, of feeling different, special, or superior even. And I can understand this kind of reactive polarity, because every polarity is actually a response, an answer to an initial extreme. And perhaps there are people that felt controlled, or that were repressed in their expression. But we are coming to this point where many things are starting to be confusing, and the boundaries are dissolving. I am referring that the other day I found this clip of this person that was talking about in theory of spirituality, and it was he was saying that sexuality was something, I don't know the term in English. I'm going to look for it because it is important to use it. But yes, sexuality was parasitic, was approached as parasitic, okay, or draining. And actually, common acts that we can approach in our daily lives could be something that drain us, or that could be sacred. Yesterday I was saying that when we help someone and we are not respecting our boundaries, when we are doing that from a programming, that is going to drain us, but also it is not going to contribute with the other person. But if we do that from an alignment with the soul, perhaps from our purposes, then that could turn into something that is sacred. Sexuality, when it is done from a space where we are trying to run from our voids, when we are creating this cosification of the bodies, could be something that is draining. But when we do that in a deep connection with ourselves and with the other, then it is turned into something sacred. Creating content for social media, when we are doing that with the unique intention of being seen or accepted, and we are not questioning ourselves if the content that we are creating is something that fulfills us, or that we truly want to do, or that is connecting us with something higher, that could be something draining. And when we do that from our heart, no matter how much people is paying attention to our content, then that could turn into a sacred act. And I think that all of this confusion of concepts, of thoughts, all that external noise with Uranus in Gemini is going to be increased, but it has a function. It has a function, and once and again, this is about learning to listen to ourselves, to observe, And perhaps, yeah, we are going to have to break with certain beliefs that we had. But other times, I think that there are things that could appear to make us doubt of our own intuition. So the people that are attached to an idea or whatever identification, because that it is the security space, it is closing to light, but also there are ways of thought and identifications that are far away from our authenticity, and these are times to learn to create that discernment. Also, if in name of light or truth, we are, taking ourselves to act in violent or in arrogant ways, then the message, whatever it is like colored by that intention. So I know that sometimes it's difficult, not talking especially about social media, but life, dealing with someone else that it is representing a challenging, whether because there is no this opening for understanding, or because one or both people are making this interpretation of what the other says or do or does, based on the wounds and imbalances that each one has. This is the axis of the conflicts. And when we are reacting negatively to something, it is because it's touching a point of identification of the ego that is in imbalance. And the more that bothers us, it is proportional to the imbalance. But also there is an opportunity. I am saying that it is the same from which space the other is acting. There are people that could have these destructive actions or this destructive criticism, and many times that could not impact us at all. And in other occasions, that could serve us to realize of something that we can change, or we can understand that the other is doing that from his or her own projection, and we understand it, and it's over. But when it is, shaking something very deep inside, then we have the opportunity to see in us what that is showing. So the arrogance of other person could be the lack of self-love or the lack of trusting in our own capacities being reflected. The lack of understanding or validation of someone else could be the reflection of stop seeking that in a space that cannot be offered. There are cases in which adult people unconsciously are, they want that their parents can support them through words, through whatever thing, perhaps a support that they have never received, to give themselves the license, the permission to do them. But if that validation it is not there, they could feel bad, and they are not taking the initiatives, or they don't do what they would like to. And then it doesn't matter if the parents are or not present physically, they take the programming with themselves. So this has layers of depth. And I am saying this because Leo, it is the symbol of the inner child, and how those experiences are conditioning being able to be in authenticity or not. And there are also people like Mary Magdalene, because today, July 22nd, it is the day that we remember her. I don't know the word in English. And in that historical context, the things that she did were totally transgressive, but not this transgression from this childhood rebelliousness, but from listening the calling of her heart, and from facing her own fears and accomplish the mission of her soul. But the name, her labor, her voice were distorted, were bad interpreted. And there are many things that at the present moment, many times we cannot find the purpose, but from a higher perspective, it always does. And it is in these times in which finally she is starting to have the true recognition, in which many people, we are feeling its loving energy expanding, and we can feel inspired to accomplish with courage also our own missions of the soul. So this moment where it is vital that we can reequilibrate our masculine and feminine energies, both men and women, because we cannot inhabit integrity and wholeness without this. Giving and receiving, it is the masculine and the feminine. And when we are allowing ourselves to do that from the heart, as Mary Magdalene did, as Jesus did, and many other people, we are seeing the sacred things in this world. Thank you, everyone. See you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.